LEC roster mania continues to heat up as we have another big story coming out of Europe today. LEC Wooloo himself tweets this out. He says, sources, Team Vitality and Nisqy mutually parting ways. Support Fleshy is expected to be promoted to the LEC team pending visa approval. Now, I don't think this is a total shock to a lot of people out there, especially people who are really tapped into the scene and like terminally online and see anything and everything, because I do believe that people were saying leading up to this that Nisqy was starting to play more and more mid lane in solo queue, and seemed like he was maybe gearing up to be doing some mid lane tryouts, or maybe he had some new mid lane team or project or whatever lined up. I don't know, but again, seeing that this thing didn't work out, when you also factor in it seems like the verdict across Reddit and Twitter and everything is that Nisqy was just not a very good support this year, and into a lot of games for Vitality, into some big moments, all that stuff. It seems like this project, while interesting, and it seems like it could work out. Honestly, when I heard Nisqy was going to be a support, to me, it made a lot of sense. Even as a mid laner, he had more of a supportive playstyle. I know he likes to play a lot of champions. It seemed like he's a big playmaker. It seemed like he could be a support, but honestly, when you're only given a couple months to figure this thing out and try to do it, especially at the highest level, that doesn't always mean it's necessarily going to work out. That doesn't mean Nisqy couldn't become at least serviceable, if not, good support at some point later on down the road. But does he even want to do that? Is somebody going to give him the opportunity to do that? Whatever. I don't know. Obviously, this project, the short-term project, did fail, and now, like I said, they are mutually parting ways. So let's see what's going on in this article. Let's see what Wooloo has to say. Nisqy is leaving Vitality after just one split in the support role. Nisqy and Team Vitality have mutually agreed to part ways after one split with the Belgian-Turkish player in the support role, according to Sheep Esports sources. Additionally, Fleshy is expected to be promoted from the Academy roster pending visa approval for the Turkish support. This means Vitality will field a third different support within the same year, as Nisqy had replaced Hylissang following a disappointing winter split. So that has been crazy. Obviously, that must be, like really, really tough for somebody like Carzzy trying to play with three different supports all in one season. That is, let alone the entire team. Obviously, support is like a really, really integral part of, playmaking and vision and shot calling and all that stuff, and trying to fit in three different voices, three different champion pools, three different styles, strategies. Hylissang is going to be way different than Nisqy, is going to be way different than Fleshy. Like, it's got to be very, very challenging, especially Vitality is also kind of like a younger team or less experienced team as well, where they need a little extra guidance. They probably need a little bit of extra, leadership and stability and stuff like that. And they've not been able to get that out of two very, very iconic veterans in the support position so far this year. So maybe Fleshy will be the person who finally kind of solidifies things, and hopefully that will free up, Carzzy a little bit, and also free up the rest of this roster to begin or to continue developing and kind of leveling up. An unconvincing role swap. Originally, the 26-year-old player was always a mid laner. After an offseason with no convincing project, Nisqy decided to take a break, starting Winter Split 2025 with no set return date. To everyone's surprise, he joined Vitality support for the Spring Split. The team hoped to strengthen their roster with an experienced player close to Carzzy from their time together at Mad Lions, but it wasn't enough to improve on their winter performance. In fact, the result was even more disappointing, as the team failed to qualify for playoffs this split. According to Sheep Stats, Nisqy split was far from successful statistically. Third worst KDA in his role, third worst support and vision score, and third worst in kill participation. It's like, what are you doing there? If you have no KD, you have no kill participation, and you have no vision score, like, hey, obviously it's League of Legends, a team game, and stats aren't the end-all be-all, but, you probably want to be excelling at something. I don't know, but then again, it's not like you necessarily passed the eye test either. A lot of people have been calling out the fact that Nisqy seems very, very out of place as support, and just has not been getting the job done. Stats aren't everything, and adaptation time was limited, but it's clear that if Vitality want short-term results this summer, the coaching staff had to try something new. Fleshy set to make his LEC debut. Vitality promoted Naknako and Chayek from their LFL Academy roster earlier this year, along with Linkus, who joined from K-Corp Blue from the summer of 2024. And now it's Fleshy's turn to make the leap. At 24, he's already played Tier 1. North American fans will be familiar with him a little bit, but never in the LEC. He previously competed with Immortals in the LCS during spring of 2023 before returning to Turkey with Papara Supermassive, and later signing with K-Corp Blue in the LFL, where he played alongside his future jungler Linkus, as well as familiar LEC names like Callista and Vladdy. Very, very crazy. In 2025, Fleshy joined Vitality B, but despite strong regular seasons in both winter and spring, the team consistently fell short in the Switch stage or the playoffs, most recently suffering a 3-0 sweep by BK Rogue Esports, just shy of EMEA Master Masters qualification. Statistically, he remains one of the top supports in LFL, ranking second in vision score and posting over 80% KP, highlighting his impact within the roster. Fleshy is expected to bring much needed stability and role-specific knowledge to Vitality, and a strong synergy with Linkus showcased during K-Corp Blue's spring 2024 title run likely played a role in the staff's decision to promote him. So again, here's what that roster of Vitality is expected to look like for the summer split of 2025. I also did see in the Sheep Esports Discord that somebody put that in a recent stream, Nisqy said something along the lines of the fact that if he does not land a LEC spot, I think they were talking about this year, but I don't know if it meant for next year or whatever. But it sounds like if Nisqy does not land a starting spot in the LEC sometime soon, that retirement could potentially be an option as well. So this could be some of the last that we've potentially seen of Nisqy, especially if more opportunities don't open for him in the future, which I'm going to assume are going to get harder and harder to come by, especially as he's role swapping and teams weren't even already that interested before. Now he has an unsuccessful role swap. Who knows? So Nisqy has been a long-standing player in both LEC and LCS history, and now his career seems to be on the back foot and kind of winding down as well. So a fan favorite player who's had a great run that could ultimately be coming to an end very, very soon. Nisqy and Vitality agreed to part ways, and Vitality now has a new support coming in. Like I said, the LEC roster mania, LEC offseason, all that stuff continues to heat up, and I'm sure there's going to be some more crazy stories coming soon. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Of course, as always, just want to mention everything we do here at Sheep Esports is powered by Holy. These are great tasting energy drinks that also just so happen to be healthier than the competition. Check out that first link in the description below. Use those discount codes SE5 and SE10 to get a nice little discount on your Holy today and help support everything we're doing over here. I would appreciate it a ton, and I know everyone at Sheep Esports would as well. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.